Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another mod spotlight. We haven't done one of these in a little while, so if you want to see maybe a few more mod spotlights, maybe even a top 5 new mods to add to your next campaign, let me know by dropping a like on the video and of course commenting, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. But the mod we are going to be talking about today is actually an incredible one and one you should definitely add to your next playlist. This is the Player Settlemnt mod, and this mod does some pretty incredible stuff because it literally allows you to place your very own settlements on the campaign map. Definitely one of the most frustrating things about hitting clan rank 4 and trying to form your own kingdom is getting your first settlement, not being able to form an army. Well, this mod literally allows you to place down cities, castles, and villages to carve out your very own castle and kingdom. So once you've reached clan rank 4, you're going to be able to see this option up in the top left of your screen, and it's going to basically allow you to place down your own settlements. I believe it is currently to build a castle, it's 100k, and to build a city, it's 1,000,000 gold. So it's a nice way of actually building that up, and a village is 10,000 gold. So it's a good way of spending your money in the mid to late game once you have hit clan rank 4 and you're ready to kind of carve your own empire. And there's a few places that I think are pretty good spots to do this. Obviously up here, there's a lot of open terrain in this forest. Unfortunately, you can't make your way up here. The map doesn't let you go up here, but this would be a perfect place if any of the map modders want to go ahead and expand open to that. Also down here in the desert, there's a lot of open space. If anything, the desert I think is a lot better, and there's a lot more interesting places you can actually go ahead and carve your settlement down here, which I think is pretty cool. All of this place is like completely open. You can move around in here, which again gives you a lot of ample space to really mess around with and form your own settlement. So say for example, I wanted to go and build my first castle or even a town. Let's maybe start with a town. So first things first, I click it. Obviously I will need to have the money to actually build this, but by doing that it will open up and ask me what I want to call it. I don't know, let's call it good old fashioned Jackie Land. So we'll stick that down, and then we get to choose the culture, which I think again is really cool. I would imagine if you're using other mods that are using the same Caradia map, this will work. So you'll be able to create custom cultures as well. I know there is also a Lemmy Europe map mod version of this as well. So if you want to go ahead and use this on Lemmy's Europe map mod, that's also something you can actually do, which again is really cool. But let's just say, I don't know, we want to go ahead and pick an empire settlement, and then boom, we get to go ahead and choose it. You guys will see all the different options to go ahead and maneuver this. So again, we kind of can place it right here. We then get all these options to actually move it around. So for example, if I wanted to rotate this, all I would have to do is press Alt, and then I can start then rotating it to make it maybe fit more into the side of the mountain, kind of make it a little bit more realistic. We can also press Tab as well if you want to go ahead and maybe take a look at it from different angles. Really easy. You can see that this is a little bit messed up right here with the settlement. So again, I can completely change that. So if I get off of this mode again, stick it back to where it was, as I said, you can see that it's a little bit over, but obviously to fix that, I'd have to probably go ahead and change it forward. So press Alt, and I think it's W, and I could bring it down a little bit more into the mountainside, and then obviously I could change the size of it by moving up by I think pressing Shift, and then I can maybe make it a bit more further in, and you can really start to see what you can do with this to mess around with it. One of the other things you can also do is change the visuals of it. So again, by pressing Shift, Q, and E, I can really change the type of settlements that I am going to be wanting to build. Again, you probably should do this first as you're setting it up, but yeah, you can change the city design very effectively, and then again, if the menu ever goes away, you can just press F1 as well, and it brings it back up. So boom, like that. I've gone ahead and maybe changed the visuals. I prefer this visual, that's fine. So actually let's go to this one's a bit too sunken in, so again, if I wanted to change this, I'd have to bring it up from the ground. But let's just say we're gonna go boom, this is the one we want to go to. So now I'll press Alt and I'll rotate this bad boy around, so it's like in the mountains. You can see it's a bit sunken as well, so we'll change that. So yeah, let's rotate it like so. Then let's probably change the scale, maybe make it a bit, no wait, that's the wrong one. I'm going to press Control, right? Yeah, Control. Let's make it a bit bigger so it fills out all of this option. It's going to be a pretty large scale settlement right there. I press F1 to bring up the menu, then we press Alt and then E so we can rotate it. We've increased the size of it like so. We'll rotate it so it's properly in the mountain. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. And then we just click it to put it down. Then once we've clicked it, we can then choose where you actually enter the settlement from. So for example, we're going to probably want to have it like here, right by the gate. boom, build a town, and then nice, it will stick it down, it will save the game, I think it will go to a load screen. Yeah, it'll go to a load screen. I imagine just like initializing the settlement itself, and then boom, there you go, Jackie Land is down. However, we can't activate it immediately, unfortunately. Oh, actually, it only cost us 100k to put that down. I would like to see the mod like make that way more expensive, so it's a lot more expensive to stick these down. But yeah, so it will take some time for this to build. I'm not sure how long these cities and castles take. The villages are a lot quicker, but now, whilst waiting for that to be built, we can now also place down a village. So we can select what village we are combining this down to. We now get to choose the village. Jackie Village? I don't know. I'm really uncreative whatsoever. We also get to choose the culture of the settlement. So for the main city, we chose the Empire. But let's just say, I don't know, we're Vikings and we're out on a little fun time. We're also in the desert, so what would be a good thing to build in the desert? Definitely not a fishery. Maybe like a palm orchard right there. I think that would be kind of cool. And then boom, we get to obviously decide where we stick this down. We could combine the village all the way up here if we wanted to, but you know, we're being quite sensible. So I think first things first, let's find a good little village that would kind of suffice our orchard field. So we can obviously cycle through a few of them to find one that kind of fits our vibe. I guess that's kind of cool what we want to do. So then we want to obviously rotate it, and then obviously, you know, kind of like maybe we'll build it like up there on the mountain side. Be kind of cool. That fits pretty nicely as well. Yeah, something like that I think it looks very cool. So we'll stick that down, we'll build that village, and then boom, you can see that it will now start to obviously do the same load screen and stuff. And then we can make our way over to the Jackie village right there. And again, this will take some time to build. So if I just skip through the time, again, I'm not sure 100% time how long it takes for all of these to build, but the villages are fairly quickly. You can also see, you know, I should have spent a bit more time kind of like, I think building this up a little bit more, increasing the scale. There's a lot of the kind of finicky stuff that you can do with it. But after some time, the village will be built up and you'll be able to now start recruiting soldiers. Remember, we made this into a Sturgian culture, so we can do that. We can also rebuild it to change the name of the settlement and also I think what it produces. You can see it's also producing olives right now, so if we go here, we'll start having some dates in there, which is obviously very appropriate. But again, you can do this. I don't know how many villages are going to be can be bound to a certain settlement. So again, if we just do the Empire right here, again, this time we'll just do whatever and we'll just stick it down like so. I'm not sure how many settlements can be bound to it. I know you can have some like 10 or 15 settlements on the map that you can just put down, which again is pretty cool. You can see caravans are now starting to move here. And I think overall it's just such a cool concept, right? Being able to put down your own settlements, being able to build up your own castles. And again, now for example, if I wanted to stick down maybe a castle, so we've got that one there, and you know, Jackie Castle like that, we'll do Jackie Castle, and then again we'll pay this to the Azerai, for example, and again it would change the actual look of the settlement as well, which is kind of cool if you want to go for a vibe. And maybe we'll make this as like a mountain fortress. You can again just mess around with so many, so let's find like a nice little one like so. Let's do something like that. Let's make this one maybe a little bit bigger by changing the scale, so we'll press control, expand this out, and then like this is the fortress that will hold the line, and then we'll put the entrance point here, you know. So all of a sudden we're like crafting our own map, and the mod has done such a good job here, you know, by sticking down the castles, and that castle will spawn, and then again we'll obviously have to attach villages to it, but there's just so much you can do, right? Like, and then now we'd probably want to stick down like a village to it, and we can choose what one we stick it down to. So again, like boom, 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 and we can start sticking villages down as well that to support this, and you can really start to just craft such a cool environment. And like we've literally just carved out our very own kingdom. This is a feature that should just be in Bannerlord in some way or another. One thing that I've always said that Bannerlord needs is like a slow progression system as you go through the clans. I think it would be incredible if you started out with like a little outpost where you can decide where you want to put it. You start like say like a little outpost at clan rank 1 where you can station soldiers that you don't have to obviously get rid of all your men every time you try and do something a bit risky or whatever. And then as you progress through the clans, you then spend resources and you have to go and buy timber and other things and commission projects to then slowly build that outpost into, you know, a bigger outpost, and then maybe a castle, and then maybe a city. I think that'd be so cool, just finding like the abandoned ruins of a previous settlement that you call your home, and then you slowly build it up and up and up. And I think it would just be such a cool idea and such a cool way of progressing. One thing I would love this mod to do is when you start a building of a settlement, maybe start giving you some quests, right? Give you some quests to go ahead and accomplish that, though. Like, I stick down this castle, and then I have to go and get myself like a ton of stone to then build the foundations, and it's like a quest, and it'll take like 3 days to build the foundations. Maybe I need some labor force, so I have to bring in prisoners to help the construction of the settlement, and give me options to maybe spend a bit more money to speed along the production or get better workforces, and you could have events popping up. Like, it's just literally a bottomless pit of like some really awesome stuff that you could do with a mod like this, and just in the base game, right? You just think of how much potential Bannerlord has to create these really, really cool scenarios, and how awesome modders are for doing it. But as I said, I'd love like interaction here, being able to commit resources and having quests pop up to further the production would just be so cool. And like make building your very own castle or building your very own city actually feel like you're progressing towards it, and make it, you know, maybe it takes a little while. Maybe you're starting at clan rank 1 and you don't finish it until you hit clan rank 4 because you're constantly having to improve it and upgrade it. It would be awesome. Anyway, that is going to be the Player Settlement mod. As I mentioned, be sure to go check it out. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. I imagine this mod works with pretty much most overhaul mods for Calradia. I imagine it's the map that's going to be the dependency because of the Nev mesh and stuff like that, being able to figure out where the castles are on the campaign map. So if you're using any like unit overhauls and stuff, you should be absolutely fine. Banner Kings could be a little bit of an issue because of they've got a lot of intertwined systems, so I actually don't know if this would work on Banner Kings. I mean, it's worth a try, right? But I imagine most other mods that necessarily don't change the core fundamentals of settlements and stuff like that would probably work absolutely fine. So definitely give it a go and implement it into your next campaign, because as I mentioned, there's just so much kind of terrain to mess around with. It's a real shame you can't kind of use this part of the map or even this part of the map to go and build your own castles, as there is a lot of open space. But yeah, I definitely think the desert is going to be a great option for you, and then up in this forest as well, it would be very, very awesome to build your own castle. Like, imagine having like a little castle this side of the settlement. It would be awesome. If you guys haven't already, make sure you put a like and a comment down below. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.